Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's Renee.
Trying to walk on the wire.
Hi,
Cause
Kim.
there's nothing we cannot overcome. Nothing we cannot overcome. They don't realize. They don't realize. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. Cause it's our time. Our time. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. Cause it's our time. Our time. They're not gonna take us alive. They must not know how we go. They sure don't know how we go. Cause we're gonna fight to survive. They will not knock us off our through. They will not knock us off our through. They don't realize.
Hi, welcome.
We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. It's our time. Our time. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. It's our time. Our time. They'll see with their own eyes. It will come to no surprise.
Good to see you. She's
The
leaving.
time for our own
Yeah.
It's not like these chapters to fill the pages of love, life, and laughter. I pack my bag, put the head into the light, and I'm ready to claim the greens, and I'm ready to take the flight. And I let it in my heart. I feel a little fear. I'm racing towards my destiny. I gotta keep my conscience clear. The blue sky, not a starship standing on. It's my turn, and I'm ready to take the world on. We're gonna take our time. We're gonna rule the
Hi.
world. Rule the world. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna rule the world. It's our time. We're gonna take our turn. We're gonna take our time. We're off to rule the world. We're off to we gon' rule the world.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to that beautiful, beautiful song. You all don't know, it feels so good to be back with all of you live. Good evening, Beauty and Clutch. Oh my God, good evening. Thank you so much for following. Thank you so much for loving. We're live here on the AniYa Show, and we're out of New York City, Harlem to be exact. And I just wanted to start off by saying thank you so much for all the love and the support. If you're watching now on Instagram or on Facebook, which you guys are already, please do me a favor and DM me, because when I'm live, I'm not able to actually see every comment, but sometimes I do see them like during the intro. So that's why I can see yours now, but DM me if you'd like to be a part of the AniYa Show, if you'd like to communicate with your girl AniYa, so that we can talk about great things to come in the community, interviews that are coming up, or if you want to be a part of the AniYa Show experience, we will be having so many great up and coming events as well as interviews. I'm going to be talking about a few things this evening. We have a very special guest coming on at 9 p.m., right? So we're not going to take up too much time. I just wanted to make sure that we are being heard all over this great old Instagram and Facebook world. So everything sounds like it's coming through correctly, thank God. But before our guest comes on, I just want to say Thank you again. And also tonight is Motivational Monday Moments where we communicate about motivation. What does motivation look like to you? So while I'm chatting it up, while I'm communicating with our guests tonight, make sure you comment in and you let me know, what does motivation look like to you, right? What inspires you the most? Why do you go out and you do what you do? I see Beauty in a Clutch who's liking us now, who's following us. Let us know more about your brand. Let us know more about why you do what you do. For those that are texting and messaging presently, just know that we cannot talk right now because we are live, but we definitely will be back with you guys. So stay tuned and keep communicating with your girl AniYa. Without further ado, let me share this. Tonight is a very special night, and there's a couple of reasons why it's so special. First of all, I'm back. So kudos for me for taking a chance on myself. And let me just share this right before our guest comes on. You know, I have been in a space where it's just been very difficult. I've had one challenge after another. I know a lot of you know what that means when you're a business person, when you're trying your best to do what you have to do to, you know, make your dreams come true. And then you realize sometimes that there are so many hurdles in the road, and then you also have the fact that you have people in your lives that are not positive, that don't really care for your brand, don't really care for you. And what happens is sometimes we could literally hit like a pothole, or we could hit like, you know, a little bit of depression, or like we could become inflamed with pain because our bodies feel the pain of when we are down and out. Well, tonight, let me just share this with you. Tonight is a very special night, and I'm going to share why with you guys for a little bit right now, and then when our special guest does come on in just a few. Tonight is a very special event and a night for me because sometimes I meet really great people along my path who just inspire me to do so many great things, who inspire me to be the best that I can be. And then, you know, they inspire me because they are inspired by what I do as well, right? Because sometimes, you know, you could think that you're going through so much, and then somebody looks at you and says, "Oh my God, thank you, AniYa," or "Thank you, you know, whomever you are." And they'll sit there and thank you because you have said something or you have done something that's inspired them. And so tonight is funny because I'm going to post up a couple of pictures of a beautiful sister. I'm not going to do a whole tribute tonight because we're going to let this brother share who he is and all about the great work that he does. However, I met this brother and this man, this great man who is in business for himself, who's an entrepreneur, who's a creative, who's a CEO, through a sister when I went out of town in a fight to help our community. And I kid you not, I met the sister and she was just so positive and so inspirational. And when she knew that I came all the way from New York City, and I think we were in Philly, if we weren't in Philly, we were in Delaware. But we were from like, we were going from state to state. It was kind of like we were traveling throughout Delaware and Philly and different things like that. Don't get me to lying, I'm not good with directions, guys. But all I know is that we were in a couple of different states in a couple of, you know, hour span. And I got to drive with this woman, and we ended up in Philly that night. And she looked at me and she's like, "Thank you so much, AniYa, for coming out, supporting, doing what you can for the family." It's a whole thing that I was doing in regards to the police brutality and police shootings in this community, the same state that President Biden is from, which is crazy, right? And literally, she's like, "Thank you so much. You're such an inspiration." And I thought she was an inspiration because she was so beautiful, et cetera, et cetera. And she's like, "And you know what, AniYa, you need to be in communication with my boy, with my really good friend, Rick Watson." So the brother's name is Rick Watson, and the sister's name is Dr. Renee. And she has a few different titles because she ended up winning like these glamorous, I guess, pageants and different things like that. And this sister was just so beautiful. And we ended up at a comedy show. It was a whole crew of us. Shouts out to the team. I'm going to shout them out in just a moment when more of you join us this evening. And it's so funny because at the end of the night, I just wanted to make sure that we were okay here. At the end of the night, she lets me know that I need to be in communication with this brother by the name of, you know, brother Rick Watson, like I shared, and that we would definitely do great things in New York City, etc. Well, I say that to say, with a very short time she passed away. And funny enough, I think it was right after she passed away. It's not a funny situation at all, but I'm just saying, like in life, you just have to go with your inclinations. And interestingly enough, let me say interestingly enough, I'll never forget the brother's name because she made sure she gave me his flyer. And when she gave me his flyer, I literally called and I said, you know what? I'm going to reach out to this brother. Even though she's gone and she has passed away, I'm going to make sure that I literally try to stay in touch with this brother. And I'm going to legitimately reach out because it felt like a calling on my life to do so. The sister passed away. Her name is Dr. Renee. She was a beautiful, beautiful sister. And I mean, like I said, she won pageantries. She was all over the media. And even on that evening, I have to share that it was so powerful when we were at this comedy show, right? We ended up at this really famous comedy spot and things of that nature. She literally got up and spoke about her talent and who she was and all the great work that she was doing. And people were mesmerized by her. And I was also mesmerized by her. And if you know anything about me, you'll know it takes a lot for me to be mesmerized by anybody because you have to be pretty cool and doing some great things for me to want to be involved in whatever you have going on. Because I don't just follow everybody's lead. I tend to be a trendsetter myself, and it's just the leader in me, right? But with that being said, Dr. Renee, I'll never forget you. I met you one time, Dr. Renee, and you were so beautiful. I'm going to try not to get emotional. And even though I met her one time, and you're probably thinking, well, AniYa, why would you get emotional if you met the woman only one time? And it's not because I met her one time that I have to forget the impact that she left on me and in my life. Somebody in that age group, she was a little bit older than me, and she literally was a force to be reckoned with. She walked around with her crown, this like gold crown, and she was just doing great things in the community, and she was super positive. So I'm going to share her pictures in just a few, but I want to take this time to read the bio of Mr. Rick Watson, whom we're interviewing this evening. And I want to share with you all why it's imperative that we pay back, or pay it forward rather, when it comes to the people in our communities who are doing great work. See, I could have gone about my merry business and I didn't have to reach out to him, and I didn't have to say, hey, you know, Dr. Renee told me to reach out to you and now I'm reaching out to you. I didn't have to do that. I didn't. But something said, AniYa, reach out to this brother, find out what he's about, and try to get in contact with him. So with that being said, let me read a little bit to you about who who Mr. Rick Watson is, as we wait for him to join us at about the 9 o'clock hour. And I'm going to share his life's work with you. And I'm just so blessed that I could be paying tribute and homage to the one and only Mrs. Dr. Renee. Because in life, you just never know. When somebody tells you to do something, you should always do it, because you never know. And I get emotional because you never know when it's their last day. You never know when that's like the last thing that they have to say to do on this earth, because there's a greater purpose in it. So she told me to reach out to this brother, and then she passed away shortly thereafter. So God bless you, Dr. Renee. And hold on, before I do anything else, I just have to let my brother Solomon know. Hold on, before I read this amazing, amazing bio, let me let my brother Solomon know that we're live. Or Solomon, if you're watching, just, you know, give me a thumbs up or let me know that you're watching. But I want to make sure that Solomon knows that I'm doing Dr. Renee's work, because I met Dr. Renee through hanging out with these great people in our community. So let me read his bio real quick, and then we can take it from there for sure. Here we go, guys. It says, who is Rick Watson? It says he is the founder, and he's the founder and creative as well as inspirational force behind World Renowned Entertainment LLC. Okay, it says, and give me 1 second real quick. Let me just let him know. Hold on 1 second. We are live. Okay, hold on one second, guys, and then I'm going to read this quick bio for you, and then we're going to let in Mr. Rick Watson. We are on live. Okay, I just wanted to let him know. All right, perfect. I had to let this brother Solomon know because we're going to be doing great work together. Because again, I had no idea that the sister would pass away shortly after meeting and hanging out with her and spending time in this community with these great individuals. It says Rick Watson is a Philadelphia native who credits his success being raised with great parents who sacrificed everything to give him a good education. Being raised in the inner streets of South Philly, Rick learned the art of business from other Black business owners and encouraged his successful endeavor to start his company, World Renowned Entertainment. It says, excuse me, Rick graduated from South Philadelphia High School and quickly joined the R&B rap group RPM. It was then that Rick knew it was his calling to entertain people. He started writing songs and choreographing dance steps for the group, which became part of his inspiration for writing movie scripts and stage plays. I love it. I love it. I love it. Ray has become one of Philadelphia's most successful writers. He has also, ready for this, performed his stage plays nationally, many cities throughout the United States. Among his credits, he has 10 successful stage plays that he has written, directed, and produced, along with one full-length featured film entitled Genocidal Behavior that he also wrote, directed, produced, and starred in. He is in the process of shooting his new film, A Mother's Love. He is the author of 2 novels of fiction titled A Woman's Worth, and second, a motivational book entitled The Deprogramming, of a Failure Mind. Rick states that the company he founded, World Renowned Entertainment, will stand as a testament to hard work, perseverance, and philanthropy. I love the philanthropy bit, right? Giving back is amazing. Rick states that his greatest treasure is his organization CUP, caring for underprivileged people, which allows him to focus on always finding a way to help those in need through each blessing God has graciously granted him with. I credit all my success on my spiritual outlook of life. God is the focus of all success. And if you haven't yet, then give God a chance. That was a direct quote from the one and only Rick Watson, who is doing his thing in his community. And at this moment, we're going to welcome in Mr. Rick Watson. Let's see if it's going to come through. I see it buffering. And I thank the good Lord that we can make it tonight. Thank you, God.
Can you see me?
I can't see you, no. Hi, I can hear you though.
I'm trying to see where the video thing, usually it comes in. Maybe I gotta start video or.
Let me tell you something. This is why we were a little behind schedule, because Zoom has changed the demographics.
Oh, is that here? Yeah, I had to push start video. They did change it. Yeah.
They did. It usually pops up, right?
Yeah, usually. Yeah.
Yeah, and real quick, and on mine, there's a strip now. I don't know what that strip's about, but apparently you can do a lot more on Zoom. So I had to fumble with that and get a lot of different things going tonight. So I apologize about the tardiness.
It's okay. I know that. Hold on, I'm messing around trying to learn stuff now. Now I took the sound out, so I don't know what I did. Well, I'm still here.
Can you hear me though? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can. Yes, sir. Well, we made it. We made it. Good evening.
Yeah, we made it. How are you, AniYa?
Rick, I mean, I feel like I've known you forever, because we have been trying to get together and do this for a while, and it's finally happening. So I'm great. And how are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm very blessed and thankful.
Yes.
I had an opportunity to finally meet you as well. So
yes.
I'm excited too. Yeah,
yes.
I'm excited.
Listen, I mean, our schedules, I think you're a very busy person, and as I am as well. So I'm just so thankful when I get a chance to finally see those that I'm in communication with, right? Because we know life has such a interesting thing that happens. And with that being said, hold on one second. I did say that I wanted to do this real quick, pay homage to the woman who brought us together. Now, I just shared a little bit, and I try not to get emotional, Rick. It's so crazy how we met, but of course, I want to do this real quick. And I'm going to let you open us up, and then I'm going to post at least 1 or 2 pictures of our sister. I found a video clip of us earlier, 2 years ago when we first met or what have you, but I'm going to wait to share that on another interview, because guess what? This is all about you tonight. But then I spoke with somebody real quick who informed me that yesterday was Dr. Renee's birthday.
Yeah, I believe it was. I'm trying to remember the last time. It's been so hard losing. I remember when it first happened, I was still in denial for a long time until I went to her viewing. And because it's hard for me to do viewings or funerals after my mom passed. So, but I felt like I had to go to hers. And it almost like I was surreal for a long time, because she was such a great spirit. And it's not many people you get in your life that just generally got love for you and got your back without a bunch of ulterior motives. So she was definitely a great person. So.
And she definitely loved you. I mean, this is the first time, for those that are wondering how long I've known this brother, tonight is the first time I'm speaking with him like face to face. I don't even know if you had a conversation yet on the phone. Our schedules have been so crazy. Me being a new mom, first and foremost, but also because of my work that I do. But when she spoke of you, I felt like I knew you. Like, I felt like we knew each other for years. So I was like, oh my God, this is like crazy how much she speaks so highly of you. And it's very rare that you'll see that, especially in this industry that we're in.
Right.
And wait, she was
people and haters. This is bad. Yeah, it's bad.
I'm telling you. And then wait, and she's like a celebrity with a crown on, and she was just so humble, and she was bigging you up. And she was like, AniYa, I think you guys would do great work together in the spaces that you're in. Rick Watson is great, like all this stuff. And then I think I held on to the flyer because I'm like that. I'll always hold on to whatever somebody gives me. I don't throw a lot of stuff away, which sometimes is a bad habit, but I had that flyer. And so when I heard of her untimely demise, I was like, this can't be real. I just spoke with this woman.
And I know, literally, yeah, I was the same way. Yeah, she just helped me out at my cookout. Then she helped me. She literally came over my house, helping me, because I do a big appreciation cookout to all my supporters doing something. And then for people that don't really have, a lot, and we do it every year around Father's Day. And I remember she was helping me with that. Then she came back and helped me with something. I mean, literally came to my house and was literally came to my house and was preparing stuff and just cleaning it with me and everything. It was funny. Yeah,
literally.
so I was,
I'm missing. Well, I'm gonna just do this. I want you to just really quickly share you speaking. I'm pulling up her picture. Sorry, I had another friend and her husband. But this is that's Dr. Renee. I had to bring her up to pay homage. I'm a nerd like that. I wanted to show the people how beautiful this woman was. I met her, and then I think a week later or so, she was gone.
Yeah. She's proud of you fast, though. She told me about you. She really wanted us to meet.
Oh, she did tell you about me.
Yeah, I know about you. She told me, she said, Rick, I want you to meet. I think I was always busy in the middle. So I said, okay, well, sure, definitely, Renee. If you told me about it, I definitely want to meet her. Yeah, she's brought me to you. Yeah, she brought you to my attention, definitely. She said she wanted us to get together. She was one time trying to get it set up we can all just meet up or some kind of thing she was doing, because Renee is always like going. And what really saddens me about her is because she was such a dead heart person. And I remember she was going through something over a friend of hers for years. And I used to always tell him, God, and he was sick. And I don't even know if he probably wanted to live with her. But she just was a great spirit. I know God definitely has her as an angel, though. But yeah, she's told me about her.
That is insane, because I didn't even know if she told you about me, because I was like, there is no way that this woman had a chance, because this happened so quickly. I'm sorry, it keeps going back to my sister pictures. I had it open to Alice. I just let me shout out Alice Young. Congratulations to Alice Young real quick. She just had an anniversary
Oh,
that she just celebrated. I didn't know that. That's why the page is open. But there goes, Dr. Renee again, and that's our little team, right?
right.
That's some people we hung out with that night. And funny enough, I'm in the video clip with Dr. Renee.
Yeah, that's when y'all hung out. That's when she called me. I think she called me, and y'all was down somewhere in South Philly at the venue down. It was a comedy show, something.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. She told me, yeah. She wanted me to come down there that night, but I couldn't get down there. Yeah, she told me. I think that's probably how we became friends on Facebook.
Maybe because she literally that quick. So there I am with the same crew. Interestingly enough, her and I are in the video clip, and then we're in another picture. But it's funny. I want you to see how God works in mysterious ways real quick. I'm here on this side of Jacob Blake. This is Jacob Blake's dad. I'm an activist and I've been fighting for the people. And then she's like right there next to Jacob Blake. I'm not in this picture and she's not in the other picture. And I know that. And I was like, that is so weird. But the day was December 13th. We went, this is the host of that comedy show.
I know his
Apparently
name. That's
really famous.
comedian.
Yes, super funny.
Ain't he funny? Yeah, I can't think of his name. It's funny. Yeah.
No, but it's okay because it's just like spur of the moment.
It's like spur of the moment.
When I was bringing this together, it was like the spirit led and said, we got to pay homage to Renee, Dr. Renee. And then like I said, I try to find the pictures and I'm like, the picture with her and I were not in it. But then I realized, wow, there's two different pictures, the same exact crew. I'm in one picture on one side and she's in the exact same position next to the same person, but in two different places. I don't know what that's about, but my hat's off to Dr. Renee. She told you about me, which is amazing. And now here we are. We must have work that we have to do together. And I just wanted to take that time to share that because I would be highly remiss if I didn't go into that whole dialogue first. But now the floor is yours. Tell the people a little bit more about you and why you're even on the AniYa show here tonight. I know we did a lot of talking, but it's all about you this evening, my brother.
Well, I appreciate that. I love that we came in with Renee. That couldn't have been a lead into a better segment as possible. Well, for those that don't know me, I heard you say you're an activist. For y'all that don't know me, my name is Rick Watson. Been in business now 18 going on 19 years this year. I'm a playwright / filmmaker / author, video company. I do everything, a little of everything. I've been blessed to tour around the country doing theater, stage plays. I'm releasing films that I'm releasing individually in AMC theaters as we're doing premieres there. My website, you can always check me out too to see everything coming up and more stuff about me at rickwatsonproductions.com, which is probably should be said at the end, but I'll do an early one.
Do it now. Get that promo in, sir.
Yeah, get a promo in. I'm getting it in. Also, some of the things that I'm doing right now for the yearly tour that's set up. We just got finished doing a play here in Philly called "Letting Go Can Be So Hard." We've got the next thing we have coming up is a film premiere and at the AMC Theater on March 18th down in the Chamonix Mall. And then we have a play in Boston. We're touring one of our plays to Boston on May. It's called Your Girlfriend Need to Mind Her Business. We're touring that.
I'm here for that. Wait. You can't. Now, you can't go past that title without giving me a little.
Well,
wait, her girlfriend or your
girlfriend need to mind her business.
Can you go a little bit into
a little bit about it? Okay. Yeah, so Your Girlfriend Need to Mind Her Business is a play that I did. Because everything I do, I try to do spiritually motivated. I always want to have a message. It's going to be a lot of comedy.
We're gonna play a trailer too. We're gonna play a trailer during this interview of
I got so many on my website, but I don't know if I have a trailer to that particular one. I don't think I do.
Well, you sent me one.
I was remember I was saying like I don't have a trailer for this play, but I'm working on it now, and I was trying to work on it before I talked to you, but because I knew you might catch that title, I want to know more.
Wait.
I said you might have. I knew if you heard that title, you might want to see more on that. Like what in the world? Because that title, I didn't realize was going to be such an impact. and I had did it a couple years ago, but I never did the trailer for some reason. But anyway, the play is about is it's a play about how a girlfriend's gossip has no place in a marriage.
Mm.
A girlfriend, you know. So everybody that hear it, especially women, they actually want to see it. I didn't know if women wouldn't want to see it, but they want to see it. It's my audience is very big. I have a great following, and they always very supportive, and they love my plays. And I didn't know how that title would affect people, but they love it. People think that because they'll say, yeah, some girlfriends do need to mind their business, and men will be like, they got to get vulgar with it. Yeah, some men do need to. Some women, yeah, some girlfriends do need to mind their MF and business. I say, all right, that's all right. Don't get that deep with it, man. It's all right.
Don't get too crazy with it.
Yeah, don't get too crazy. I'm like, all right, y'all now. All right. But anyway, the play is definitely about it's about a woman that's need to mind her business, and that's her girlfriend, and she's married. He's she has a married girlfriend. When they got married, you know, she can't separate, or they were really close since school days when they were kids.
Mm.
And so she's a girlfriend that's just um very she's very I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but she's very hypocritical, and she's a very um abusive towards her boyfriend, her girlfriend's husband, because she can get away with it. Because the sometimes women and relationships have relationships, and they get to the point where they're you know, they compromise because they feel like, you know, this is my girlfriend. Come on, girl, cut it out. Oh, you cut it out, hubby, or whatever. But so I thought this play was important and relevant for life, um, because it is situations where people, where the girlfriend shouldn't mind her business. Because a lot of instances, there's not many guys that be in their homies relationships. So I know that it happens a lot in marriages with the girlfriend from the girlfriend. So the
Or
girlfriend.
family members too. Mm-hmm.
Well, family members too, but family members, I don't know. Yeah, yeah, that's true. But in my dealings, it's more like family members aren't as outspoken at times as a girlfriend can be. Because a
Gotcha.
girlfriend gets to be with you every day, all day, or call you on the phone. You know, it's like more attentive. So I wanted to address that first. And I think we did a great job with it, because when I first did it here in Philly, they went crazy over it. So ironically, after I do it in Boston on May 7th, it's coming right the next weekend, the day before Mother's Day in Philly, because somebody wanted to bring the venue back to Philly. So I'm having it there too. So I'll be back in Philly, coming back from Boston, right in Philly with it again.
Wow.
Yeah, so you need to mind her business. Yeah, and then after that, we have my film premiere in Philly at May, March, no, Boston is May 7th. Oh, I went past the film premiere, didn't I? Did I do March 18th?
No, I think that was
I
the
went all the way to Your Girlfriend Need to Mind Her Business. Yeah, I have a film, my new film. I believe you had the trailer for it. It's a film we did called Adultery and an American Pastime.
that's the one I said, oh, this gonna be, oh, let me sit back and grab something to sip on, because that one.
Yeah, it's something. And it's funny because I called it Adultery and the subtitles an American Pastime, because you know I think they say apple pie or baseball is an American pastime, but I say adultery is, because it go on so much. And today it's even more loose. So I just did a film on it from one of the plays that I did. It's inspired by a play I did called Men Lie Too Much, Women Lie Too Good. So that's another title that people went crazy over. I didn't know, but they wanted to see it and they loved it. So it was good. So it's inspired by that, from that script when I did it. So it's everything. It's every part of the category, for suspense, thriller, drama, murder mystery, a little bit of comedy. It's everything in this production. So it's going to be a great play, and we're premiering it at the AMC in the Chamonix Mall on March 18th. It'll be a 7 o'clock show.
May I share with you, as we were speaking, I kindly sent that during what you were saying to some pastors and some men in the cloth, as we like to call them, while you were speaking. So they might have gotten the message. And if they did, don't come for me, y'all. Just do the right thing. How about that?
Do the right thing. There you go.
Do the right thing. Don't come for my hey. I just had to share the message from the.
You had to share the message. Don't shoot the message. You just sharing the message.
That part. So while you were talking, I was typing away.
Oh, you was typing away. Uh-oh. Well, you start stuff, you're gonna have my name on the top, but Rick Watson said, no, no.
Listen, no, they know I'm messy. They know, but I'm messy for the good of the people. I love
Okay.
to share and I love to encourage. So if they take it the wrong way, they got to go to Jesus about that. Amen.
That's right. Amen. Hey,
No,
hey.
no, I saw that trailer for adultery, and I was like, oh, that's something. And of course,
Yeah,
during this interview, I would love to share that, but I wanted you to be able to share more about who you are and just motivate the community and
yeah,
then
I want
drop
to.
that trailer because that's something a lot of people, and I wanted to share this before, you share more about, the motivation tip and how you got
Yeah,
started. A lot of people wouldn't be that bold to share that type of message in regards to adultery,
right.
especially in the church. So I'm going to send this interview kindly to some other people because presently, the reason why this is actually opportune time for us to share this is because I'm in the streets with a YouTube streets. I don't know if you know what that is
No, I'm
with
not familiar with
the mess going on in YouTube. Uh, I'll fill you in later, but some of the
it.
viewers
Okay.
may already know, but I am a part of this whole new other world. It's literally a whole nother world out there, and it's called the YouTube streets, where
Wow.
there's a lot of things that are happening in the church world that is being played right on YouTube. And I'll give you a quick synopsis. There's a pastor, you might have heard of him. He calls himself a bishop out of Brooklyn. I don't know
Uh,
if you heard where
not
he
the jury, not the jury Rolls Royce riding one.
the one. And I actually was one of the people who had to kindly shut him down recently. I haven't talked about it, out loud, but people have seen the posts and stuff, and they know I do a lot of things behind closed doors. But the reason I shared that is because he is in that category of adultery that you're talking about.
Oh,
Allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, so he don't come and sue me because he likes to sue everybody. But right now, we need to show what's really happening behind closed doors and
yeah.
how he gets all these demons out. So when you sent me that one about adultery, I said, Jesus is real.
Yeah, and it's funny because I don't know why I sent you that particular one, but it must have been everything happens as meant. So, and it's sad because I mean, God says there's going to be a lot of false prophets. So, that's why I don't even I don't even consider myself a religion. I don't even do religion no more. It's about spirituality with me. I believe in Christ and I follow, but it's not the titles because even the Bible says that religion is separation. So for me, let's say a lot of people going to fall short. It's going to be false prophets. So much going on that you got to discern it. I can look at different ones, and I'm not going to get into names even saying it, and just say, this is not really that which comes. So I don't get into judging and telling everybody and this and that, and I like what I appreciate what you do. You just make sure you confront things because sometimes they need to be understood. To hear it from somebody, to check yourself. Because one thing I do for myself is I'm always checking myself. I'm always saying, what do I do this here so nobody else has to really put something better? Because if I keep working on myself, I want coming out with a talk show called Your Problem Is You. So that's
Yes.
what you can always take a look at yourself and say, what's going on? So when you get exposed, don't take it the wrong way. If it bothers you, that means something's wrong. If you ain't doing
have
nothing,
to change. You gotta
you
change.
gotta change. If it's bothering you, something's wrong. Because if you know you're doing everything right, then you're doing it. And all this turning into different things, the flamboyantness, the showing and all the stuff that's going on. We do have to be careful when you in the after that. Now, I understand that the Bible says everybody sells fall short. Anybody said they're not a liar, anybody said they're not a sinner, they're a liar. So I understand it, but that doesn't mean that you don't work on being better and it don't work. And you work on being better by being humble and sit back and try to find peace with God instead of trying to show people who you are and what you have. Because once you become that part of the world, it becomes that vain part, and then your message is going to be diluted either way. I seen a thing where that pastor you talking about beat a woman because she was saying different things. I'm like, come on, man, like you can't do that though, regardless of how you feel. You can't get that up. You got to know that that's a spirit over you, pushing you to be that upset. But that's not judging him. That's just speaking facts. That's why I don't get into political answers when I do major mainline interviews and all that kind of stuff, because they always asking me about something. and about gayism, about this, that. I say, all I say is not what I think or what I feel, is what the Bible says. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Whatever it says it is, that's what I think. That's what I go by, because that's what it says. I can't go against or dilute or change or do whatever. Everything is about the word. So don't ask me about nothing, because it's not my place to judge anything. All I can do is tell you I follow what the word says. And if you don't know, go look at the word.
And it's so funny because I'm texting my sis now. I should have texted her earlier, but it didn't dawn on me. But I'm close to her as well. And literally, she broke it down to me, just like what you said. She's like, AniYa, I didn't go over there with that in mind. She said the spirit came upon her. That's a direct quote from this sister. She's not doing any more. You understand what I mean? And this is a direct quote from my sister, because once she would, guess what? The judge threw out the case from him trying to get her to be sent to jail, by the way. Nobody knows that she is free, because he whom the spirit sets free is free indeed. Who the Lord sets free is free indeed. So when God is moving, and I just wanted to touch on this because what we're talking about is so timely for the church today. Stop approving any old thing and understand that God is still in control. Those that are in control and that know who God is, like yourself, who's calling it out, you are given a mandate, Brother Rick Watson, excuse me, to show what the church is really supposed to look like, because so many people are turning a blind eye, and so many people are just accepting any old thing. And that's why we are in the state that we're in now. So for you to be able to call it out, you know what you're doing? You're opening the eyes of those that need a change, that need to come out of their, oh, you're gonna have me to preach. Let me stop. You go ahead. Your show.
You can't quiet. God is always going to come. That's why people always get misconstrued when they're chasing money or making money or getting a position of pastors and money. They got to always remember that it says much is given, much is required. That should be your main focus. It shouldn't be about all the lavish stuff that comes with it. Now, it's nothing wrong, I believe, to looking nice and wearing nice things, but it's wrong when you're in a position where it's the boastful part of it, and you got more than what you're giving. So much is given, as much required. So and going to all that, we can ready to do church though. But
I can't believe it. I was like, Lord Jesus, because
we didn't have church, yeah.
Go ahead, sir. Tasha Howard, I'm sending her the message right now. Look, she's so blessed because they released her from that ridiculous charge, and I'm letting her know she needs to follow you, sir, and she need to know what's going on. And we got to bring your play to New York City. First stop, Brooklyn, if you ask me. But go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be bringing my play out Bronx, one of my films out in the Bronx soon at AMC Theater out there. Okay. City or something. So I'll keep you posted. Please. But back to who I am. Let me kind of break down, because I'm so busy always marketing something that I went straight into what's coming up. But I'm a guy, like, who I am personally, and what my mission in life is to encourage people. And there's so much darkness in the world. So one of the things that I do, my 2 bestseller books, well, my first one is a bestseller on Amazon. It's called The Deprogramming of a Failure Mindset. That's one of my first books. That's a book about business, to kind of make you understand the essence of your value. And then the second book is called The Conditioning of Black Self-Destructing Behavior. And the subtitle is Guilty by Default. And that's about to let people, encourage people to understand that especially people of color, that what's in front of us is an illusion, that what we can't do, and the system is not going to give us and what we can do. And I talk about Black Wall Street, and I talk about everything. So I try to encourage people to always understand their self-worth, because if you pay attention to what the world is giving you, you have a lack of self-value. So I wanted that book to be out just to tell about the conditions of life and everything. And it's starting to pick up numbers. So that's a blessing too. They're both on Amazon. I try to do a cookout. My biggest thing is about giving. I do just as much free stuff as I do stuff to be, the people have to pay. So one of the big things I do every year is a cookout I do. It's called, it's my appreciation cookout I do every year. And we do it down on Delaware Avenue in Columbia at Penn Treaty Park in Philadelphia. We do there a cookout And we do it there because they used to bring the slaves in there from right there, and then they used to auction us right on Second and Lombard, but they still got the little platform down there where they was for the bus. So, and they used to auction us there. So I do that there, and I do that for everybody. And I have whites, blacks, and all that come out and get together, and everybody just eat for free, and we do it. And we do that to make unity, and we do a moment of silence for people that lost, family members and everything. So that's one of the things I do. I also have an organization called CUP. There's my mother, Joan Watson, inspired foundation called Caring for Underprivileged People. So I do that. The essence of me is that anything that I do, I want to be able to encourage people. I want to entertain people, but at the end of the day, I want to make sure, because I feel as though when God gives you a gift, it's part of your ministry.
Amen.
So, mine is not on the pulpit and things like that, but I think that everybody has a spiritual essence, and everybody should encourage somebody some kind of way. And that's what's so important at the end of the day. So that's the essence of who I am.
I am here for it. And you know what? I just want to take this time to say hey to our viewers and our friends who are watching. Let me tell you something. We had comments coming in this whole time and I didn't even realize it because we were.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So let me shout out those that are watching. First and foremost, our big brother, Jacob Blake, who is Jacob Blake Sr., who's Jacob Blake, Jr.'s father. That's who I was just shouting out in the picture. I didn't realize he's actually with us now. He says he misses baby girl so much. Speaking of Dr. Renee.
Yeah.
Everybody. He says hamburger. I don't know which one is hamburger. What he talking about hamburger?
That's Hamburger. That's his name. Yeah, that's comedian.
You okay? The
comedian is Hamburger. That's his name.
Thank you. Okay, nothing but love. Thank you so much, Jacob Blake Sr. We love you. He is here watching and he's participating with us now. Then we also had C. Smiley. I think it's C. Smiley Hickman. I believe that's one of your contacts. Yes, indeed, referring to some of the things that we are stating. Nothing but love. And they're saying yes in regards to what we're saying, and they're sending laughs because they're laughing with us. So C. Smiley Hickman. I'm not sure who that is, but I feel like that may be one of your contacts.
Maybe one of my contacts. Maybe, yeah.
Perfect. So we have those about 10 comments that just came in. I replied a couple of times. So we have people that are watching, and then we have people on Instagram who are watching who are saying great show. They have been supporting here this evening. Hey, thank you so much. Good evening. Good evening to you, Beauty in a Clutch. Good evening, Juki, Party Palace, Judea, Steve, Rudy, Team Money, nigga. Oh, excuse me. I hate saying that word, but Team Money is on with simplicity. Jean for Day, HCC Catering, Thomas Walker. He's a young man who I really care for, who is doing great things in the community. Brian Richards, who is out of Harlem, a business owner doing great things. And Sir Sylvans from my parents' homeland of Haiti. So we have a lot of great support this evening, and I am just so happy that the people are definitely watching and supporting this evening. And we have others that are watching that we probably won't know until later too, but it shows up that others are watching and they are sitting here with us this evening. So I love to be able to share that with you, that we have great support from the community whom are watching. And, a lot of times I encourage people to send in messages. So you guys keep sending in messages, ask questions. And of course, if you're in a particular city and you would like Rick Watson to bring his films, to bring his plays, let us know where that is too, where you guys want him to come to. And of course, we'll try to do a part 2 with Mr. Rick Watson to share more of what he's doing and where he's going to next. But so you said you definitely will have one of your platforms coming to New York City. I think that would be so good.
We literally just talked about it tonight. Go ahead.
Literally, that's what Dr. Renee said. She's like, AniYa, I want you to communicate with this brother. He has great work that he's doing, and he wants to, come to New York City. And that was the plug. She said she wanted me to plug you in some places. And funny enough, I don't know if this is on your scope, but I'll put it out there, right? Presently, the Apollo Theater is open back up. I don't know what their fees are, all of that jazz. I did an interview there a couple of years ago. I did some work in there, but either way, just to let you know, that's somewhere that I foresee.
Yeah, I actually looked into it one time, but the pandemic came in, so I didn't do it. Yeah, but I'm familiar with them.
Well, they're open back up, and just to let you know, that's next door to my office. So my office is door to the Apollo Theater. So I just wanted to put that out there. I didn't know if that was in your scope, but the Apollo at the Apollo is good money, honey. So I wanted to share that. I literally work next door to the Apollo Theater. So listen, that might be somewhere you're going to be going to. Amen. Praise the
Yep,
Lord.
I'm going. That's right. Claim it.
Yes, in Jesus' name. So let's talk about it. So did you just naturally have a knack for writing and just like being out in front of the camera, directing, producing, or was that something that kind of grew with you? Because I know you came from a good background of parents, and your mom is the inspiration behind CUP. And tell the people again, what does that stand for?
CUP stands for CUP. It stands for Caring for Underprivileged People.
Love it.
Yeah, it's a foundation that I did because she was always a big giver. I never knew what it was not to have both parents. So my mother and father were great. They scraped their money, make sure they put us in Catholic schools and all. I still got caught up at one point in my life in the streets, but but the foundation that they built always had me to be able to come back around, and that's what's important. And I try to do that for my children, the same thing. Because
Excellent.
everybody, you're gonna make mistakes, but I want you to understand what's real. So when it's time and you get sense and you make it through, you got some sense to go and do it right. And I'm blessed that all of my kids are doing well and own businesses. Um, yeah, so yeah, one of the things we talked about was that the CUP, and then you said something about something else. Yeah, well, my writing, with
Right.
my writing, yeah, what started with me was it's a funny story. I remember I used to be so embarrassed when I thought I was coming up to talk about it, but when I was a kid, I didn't know, because sometimes a lot of people go through lifetime and try not to really understand what their gift is, and they just have to pay attention and you'll see what it is. But I've been blessed to be. I had a talent. Like when I was young, I never really played with toys. I was a kid that used to like to draw people, cut them out, um, and give them lives. Like I would make my headboards their houses. I would make rice-a-roni boxes their cars, and downstairs, downtown, and back up on the third floor where they live at, make a skating perform. So I did this when I was young, and I used to think it was strange. But when I got older, I understand, until I got in trouble and went away and got incarcerated, I understood I was a writer, because when I started writing, I couldn't stop. So and when I first started writing, I had got saved, so I was writing a lot of spiritual stuff, and then it just got me into, the story is really long, but I got into, when I was in jail, and then I had wrote all these stuff when I figured out I was a writer, because being away give you time to think. Sometimes you need to be took out the streets, because I always say God don't put you in bad situations, but he allowed things to happen, and it could be good for you, like it was for me. Because if I didn't go away, I think I would have still been consumed with the streets and caught up and not really understand the big picture. But when I started writing in there, everything just fell into place. I wrote these skits, and this one pastor, one of the churches, had said, well, you want to write 2 plays? I would need some skits done for after each sermon. And I said, wow, and it's crazy, because this is how you know when God works. And
Yes.
this is mission. Yeah. And then the ironic thing, for the time he was there, I had a skit already written for every sermon that was coming up. So that's how God puts it. Yeah, literally, like literally just. I was like, well, even one about communion I had. I don't know how I had one about communion, but it was just it was so dominating, and the brothers in there sometimes crying after some of the skits we was doing, and like, I went through that, and being on drugs and being out. So in that I was just that.
Sorry, I know you did a little time, you said, and things of that nature. However, were you brought up in the church, or were you just like, your parents were like my parents, they just sent you to church and was like, come back a good person? Were your parents in the church?
Well, yeah, when I grew up, my parents were Catholic. So I went to Catholic churches and Catholic schools. But what they did was that my parents, I really am blessed with some parents. I had parents that did not play, don't take no stuff. Back then you could get away with beat me, and I needed it sometimes. And I needed that iron left on me, because I think that helped me. Because nowadays you can't hit your kids, but if they go away somewhere and you take them, they allowed to put their hands on them if you do something and try to get ruly, but but the parents can't do it. But anyway, I don't even want to get into that. But
The system, we got work to do.
yeah,
Sir. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, so I grew up in going to Catholic school, and my parents never like shoved it down our throats, but they made sure that we went to church and we did this, and they taught us to grow. When I went away, different things happened to me that I felt like when I first went away. I mean, so many things in my life happened. It's just so like amazing to me. Like I one time was contemplating going to this this thing about this guy that was coming to speak at the jail, and I kept contemplating because when you first in there, you trying to break you at the streets, but damn, I know I should be doing this, or I know right, the fight is fighting with the evil. So I decided last minute I wanted to go. I mean, I didn't want to go, so then I kept saying, then I said I want to go. Then I went to the door. They said there's no more tickets left. So I go back in my cell, come back out. There's a ticket laying on the front of my cell on the floor. So I pick up the ticket. I walked to the door and I said, yo, I got a ticket. I was so excited to go. So the guy let me out, go to the gym area to go talk to the guy, see the guy. When I get to the gate, the guy said that, oh, this ticket is old. So he said, this is old. I said, Dad, man, I want to get in here. He said, but come on, I'm still let you in. So that's how God worked. And that day was the day when I understood the light. And it was something that, because, being from the community and Black community and all that, I didn't really want to waste time hearing white people talk, because you're thinking that everything is against you, and you got to keep things in perspective in life, because God will use anything to get a message. But I went in, I listened to a white guy, was a ex-junkie, in shape, got his life together, and he said things that opened my eyes to some things when I just took time to listen. And that's part of the growth I got from becoming a spiritual man. And then when I went back, it was a lot of change in me in time. It was going, but there's so many reckless things that happened to me that sometimes I believe that was just God, that did that. So part of my mission is always a spiritual aspect of my life and career. And that's why I go so hard, like, because I don't move with no fear. Most people move with fear. And I tell people all the time, like, contrary to popular demand, everything always works its way up. So stop being upset, stop getting frustrated, just move forward and allow God to work. God says that, he don't like slowfulness. So stop being worrying about what ain't gonna be. You're speaking things against you in life, because words speak life. Stop saying what's in your way, what's not working, what's this. Always think about and figure out what a way to get it done. And I'm big on that. So that's why I go forward on everything. I don't think there's nothing I cannot do. And and people want to base so many things on how much money you have or how much this. Contrary to popular demand, no matter how much money you got, you're always going to be in need, because you're going to live according to what you have. You ain't going to sit and live in the same position if you got 10 million sitting in the bank. So now you got 10 million, you got to keep that up now, because you got a better house, a bigger this, a better car. So, money isn't my driving force all the time. The message is the biggest thing. Of course, I'm like anybody else. I'm a fleshly man. I want more. But money doesn't make me. I make money. So at the end of the day, it's about really it's really about more of the substance in things, more than just the quantity of things. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that you get go away. In 2 years it'd be old, and you want something different anyway. So and this flesh ain't never satisfied, the Bible says. So I don't try to feed it all the time, because if I did, I'd be all over the place.
Yes, that is so profound, because it is about the message. And I want you to know, like, I definitely see now more why, Dr. Renee made sure that, God, I get the goosebumps, I get everything. I get, like, it's just, when I think about this whole moment, I get so emotional, because I'm a very spiritual person, right?
Mhm.
It almost feels like that was like her last thing that she had to do, almost, because like the way it happened, like, AniYa, you have to meet him, you have to work with him, whatever. Like, I didn't know you from Adam, and I didn't know anything about you. But the more I listen to you, I'm touched, because that is my mission. My companies, FEG Management, Freedom Entertainment Group, LLC, started off a dream and a vision, 7/7/2007, literally giving back to underprivileged and underserved communities. Starting in the ATL, I'm a former model and an actress, and I woke up one day and realized that our young people were not stupid. We as Black people are not stupid. We're just misjudged, and we just don't have the resources. And so when our boys, when our boys
Resources is the
are
number one thing.
right, when our boys are on the streets selling the dope and things like that, to be in the studios, because I was in the studios, I know what it means to be in the hip hop industry and all of that. You'd be surprised what I've been through, right? God showed me that they only go into this lifestyle to pay for the hype, right? To be able to pay for the studio time, to be able to pay to be that next great hip hop artist. And at the same token, they fall short sometimes because they're trying to chase that image or that next dollar bill. And literally, you have a message behind your mission, right, Rick? And I see it clearly why this beautiful angel was like, we have to work together. And that's so powerful what you just stated, because and sometimes that's and here's another thing, right? This is why I interview people the way I do. And I say, it's your show. I want to hear from you. I want you to tell me more about why you do what you do, because I need the world to know too, because you never know who's listening. When I'm done with this, I put it right on YouTube. Sometimes it goes directly to YouTube, other times it doesn't. And I have to stop and I just, upload and, download or whatever. But I say this to say, and you just sharing what you shared, you never know who's going to listen to that just small fragment and who's going to say, wow, I needed to hear that at that very.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes it does do that. And that's why, like, even when we talk about the young people and what they caught up in, it's a reality. Because I used to always tell people, I became a product of my environment. It's not that it's a justification, it's not a justification, but it's a reality. I'm saying it's not a coincidence that the lack of resources and things are in our communities. I mean, everything that is there is for a reason.
Yes.
Sad thing about it is when Martin Luther King was just talking about equality, he was okay. As soon as he started talking about resources, he had to go.
Oh my God, wait. This is what I've been saying for years. Did you ever watch my show and did you hear me say that or no?
It's my first time seeing your show, yeah. Or being on your show or seeing it, yeah.
Oh my God, I've been talking about it. People be like, what are you talking about? The minute he opened his mouth about money.
Yep. About resources. He said, yeah, he done that. See, he done that it was even on NBC or somewhere with that guy, and he put him to shame, that guy. They tried to sick him on him. He did it. That's what they did to Kennedy. Kennedy started talking about resources for Black people, and he was serious about it. He had to go. So they understand that you got to understand something. Everybody else that comes in, whether it's Asians or whoever, they get all these years of tax escape, and then they can pass it on somebody else, and they keep it. It's always ways for them to succeed. Like, you got to understand something. It was a time when Black people in our community, 1921, Black people had more than anybody in the country in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes.
And they went through and just burned it down, just legally got away with it and never whatever. But the point I'm saying is that it always comes down to resources. You have to pay attention to, what's in front of you. It was something else I was going to say something about, and I took my mind off. I should have just said it. But anyway, it's, at the end of the day, it's about resources. If they understand who we are, and this is no disrespect to anybody. I mean, people got to understand don't use this as a way to be mad. Use it as a form to work harder and get your own. Because one of the things in my community at one time in the 70s, it was a bunch of, people would have lived in middle class because they had the factories all. They closed all them down. Then it was in my community, it was a Black corner store. Then it was the variety store, the hoagie shop, the shrimp, the seafood place. And then right after that, crack was flooded through our communities. And then everybody from that generation sold off everything they had because the crack came in so bad. And today, it's not a coincidence. These guns are flooding our communities, and people keep acting like everything is coincidence and blaming these kids. But if the guns won't be there, it wouldn't be as much going on as it is. And it's too much access. And they're making all these excuses, how and why and this and that. But at the end of the day, if you touch these things and talk about these things, the bigger you get, that could become a problem. It ain't a coincidence. The number one game was Grand Theft Auto, and these kids that's doing it now was what they was playing because their parents was too busy trying to work 2 jobs and just get them games. And now they're doing the same exact things with these car games as the game did. Grand Theft Auto, take a car, rob people. Like, they even took one of my cars I left running. Took it, was robbing all the delivery people. It's the exact same thing that was going on in that game. Now, I'm not saying that I'm making an excuse to anything, but I'm just saying reality is what we got to deal with from a spiritual aspect. There's a reason for everything. There's no coincidence. There's no thing that Black people are just bad and they just this. Is something behind everything, and that's the reality of life. And I don't want to make excuses for the young people, but I want people to see the bigger picture to help, instead of condemning, to start finding ways to help these situations get better.
Lord have mercy on Zion. I see it. I know that we have more to do. And And I try not to say too much because I tell people
Me
all the
too. Yeah, it's not good to say sometimes.
yeah,
Say enough though.
I tell people like this, I'm too cute to die right now. I'm not a martyr. Amen, somebody, literally. Um, we're gonna have to talk offline about
Yeah,
what
definitely.
we do more because you hit the nail on the head. And with me being who I am, the activist that I am, fighting for the rights of the people and things of that nature, they hate me. They absolutely positively hate me because when I come in and I step in, I'm like, you owe me X, Y, and Z. And then I just got on the phone with somebody, which we all know, who's the biggest civil rights attorney in the world. And I texted him and I said, I'm ready for us to sue the whole state of New York right now. I'm not going to say exactly what about, but
Right, not necessary.
you know what I'm saying? I was like, sir, you are my mentor. How do I start the paperwork? I have a lot going on. I want to sue the whole state of New York City for a particular issue because they keep doing this to us. It's only us that they do this to, right? But I'll talk to you about that offline. But he's so funny because he'd be like, AniYa, what's on your mind today? Like, because I'm like, this cannot be our reality. But what I will say is this: we're so tenacious and we're so powerful as a people that when we put our minds together, that's what they're afraid of. Look what's happening.
Well, overnight, this night ain't about, for me, it's not even about resources and none of that. Right now, the way that we can come out of this, if we just really did this, but we're so programmed not to do it, all you got to do is take black dollars and only keep it with black dollars.
That's it.
That would change the whole narrative of
And
everything.
that's what they've been afraid of. That's why in
That's why they made the music like it is now. There's no more money because black people figuring out, hold on, I ain't taking these 360 deals, this and that. They got ownership, they making $100 million off a record going platinum. And you got a contract that say everything that they use in your money is a loan. So only out of your profits to come back the money of that with interest on it. So it's all just a game and it's a situation. So the only way that you can get it, black dollars can turn to black dollars. Because if we just turn around right now today and said, not only, I'm not saying to discriminate against nobody, because I'm not about discrimination, but what I'm about is that we get the position
let's
to put
be
ourselves in a
realistic.
position.
Let's be realistic, not to even cut you off. We
No,
don't
you're
have
right.
to say we're not discriminating, but we're just trying to do for ourselves like they've done for
No,
themselves.
that's what I'm saying. I said I don't want to put it in the light of discrimination because
Right.
I don't condone that because I didn't condone it when they did it to us. But what I mean is that, but we have to learn, like if I got somebody right in my community, okay, I understand Walmart and all these other places got all these lower numbers. But if we say, damn, man, we consistently see a business and just go for it. By us being so programmed and not used to having that, we don't have a sense of self-value. Like consciously, we believe, we can say we're important and we're doing it, but self-consciously we're broken to not believe it. That's why we can't see a guy right there and we'll pass right by this business, a black small business here, or black salon, or black hair, nails done, or whatever, and go right to make sure that anybody else. And it's not like, that's why I'm telling you that it can be turned around, because black people, I think, is one of the people that spend the most money, billions of dollars a year. So if we just turned it around and said only that, you imagine just in 1 year, we'd be like, oh my goodness, these businesses is flourishing.
Well, look what Kanye just did. Kanye just showed us something, didn't he?
Who?
Kanye
Oh
West.
yeah, Kanye don't care. I like him. He just talk. He said, "Hey, I'm gonna tell the truth."
I bet him,
God is on the side.
he don't give a damn about nobody or nothing, and he's still alive. Praise God, because they don't even want to touch him. They don't even know what to do with him right now.
Yeah.
But our eyes are on.
Because they know like some things they can't do right away because he gets so public right away, and he makes it so out. He don't hide nothing, so it's hard to just do something. Then you'd be like, oh damn, it's pretty obvious what happened to him. So it's like, everything is done differently. So even not even getting into conspiracy theory, I just feel like, people have to wake up and understand that it's a reality out here. It's just a reality out here that we can change our own narrative and stop depending on everybody else. Because I don't depend on nobody. I don't depend on nobody, no other establishment, no. I've turned down deals. I've done things where I'm not concerned about it. My biggest thing is important to be self-sufficient, because when I'm self-sufficient, I can open doors for other people. Because no matter what you have here, like I've talked to millionaires and different nationalities and all, and they always tell me, all we want to know is how you're gonna make me money. Not for us to invest into your dream, or not. Just like my daughter has a soap company in Maryland, a #1 soap company. A couple of my daughters is doing well. #1 soap company in Maryland called Bubbles Galore. And with her, she's the #1 soap company. In her first year, she come from out of the flea market, went to the mall out there,
Wow.
the biggest mall out in Rundle's Mills. She's in the kiosk now, from a cart to kiosk. She made $100,000 in her first year, and then they still turned her down for a loan. So, and then they did that. Now she made more this year, but so she survived off getting credit cards. But the point I'm making is, why wouldn't you give this business a resource? They made $100,000 in their first year. You imagine if they gave them some money, give me $250,000.
We're not.
You imagine what it would turn into. What more proof you need?
Well, here's the
You
thing.
know,
So,
our houses are underpraised, everything. So it is what it is.
so let me share too. Paola, I think it's Paulita or Paola. She's a friend of mine. She's saying hello. She's watching. Robin
Hello.
Clanton. Yep. Hello.
How everybody doing? You didn't say all them names. I ain't say hi to nobody. How's everybody doing?
I nail one body. That's okay. We know you feel it in your heart. You feel it.
Yes, I appreciate all of them that's coming in and listening.
Yes, Robin Clanton, who I think is in the oh my God, I think she's in the Virginia area, or no, further south, somewhere by the ocean. She's a very beautiful sister. She's a makeup woman too, so she's all about the self, business thing. So Robin Clanton does makeup. She's doing great. And she is saying hello. Hi, sir. She said hello, sir, to you. And then she says, hello, beautiful sister, to me. And the C smiley I was telling you about, that's really Camille Hickman. Yes, Camille
Hickman.
Yeah.
I know Camille Hickman. I grew up with. Yeah.
Okay, so you know who that is, because I was like, what is his name?
Yeah,
so,
her name is Camille Hickman. Yeah. That's a great friend of mine. I grew up with her.
So watching as well.
Yeah, that's one of my friends. But what's the other girl name too? So hi, Camille, and what's the other girl name?
Okay, Robin Clanton.
Hi, Robin. I want to make sure we say hi to Robin too.
And she's from Virginia Beach, Virginia. And then we have my sister Paulita Webb, who is half Jamaican and half Haitian, and she's a nurse. So we have to always shout out some of our community.
Yeah, how you doing? How y'all doing? Thankful y'all came in.
Yes, I'm so happy because I'll tell you one thing. I have been missing on the scene, and I don't know how much time you have allotted, but we could be. Oh my God, so many people are joining us on Instagram too. Johnson, thank you, Johnson. Thank you, Edzer, Vixamar. Thank you, Young Jay. Thank you, Fred, Boss Jur. Like, I have a lot of my Haitian community. I'm Haitian American, by the way. So like.
Oh, okay. I hear it come out.
That's why they're different. Sorry about that. But even
that's why your passion is strong too.
Sir.
I love it.
Let me tell you, we have to talk about that too. But here's what's so funny. I haven't been on live in like 2 weeks. I took kind of a break, not because I didn't want to be on live, but because like things were just going in circles. And sometimes you have to take a break, but also because I had events back to back. And while you were talking, right, I remembered I have these 3 books in my hand, and talking about Black businesses and Black people doing great things for themselves. Let me tell you, I saw something online. I ended up going to what have you. I got an invite for this. I had no idea what I was going to. I don't know if you know, but like, I'm the type of person, I don't know if you like this, see something cool. It's the library's Black History Month. Let me go and support my brothers and sisters.
I do that all the time. Yeah.
All the time. I don't even be knowing.
I don't know what it is, but sometimes I go. Yeah, I see that book, Charlemagne the God. I see that. Yeah.
Charlemagne the God.
That's the name of his book, Black Privileges. Wow. I should have brought my books to show.
Listen, next time we're going to do a part 2. This is the sister that I'm going to be interviewing next week, Shallow Waters. Her name is Anita Kopax. And the third one is State of Emergency for Tamika Mallory. All 3 of them were on that stage in the Brooklyn Library. Wow. And what I didn't know either, because like I said, I just be going to places sometimes. What I didn't know is Charlemagne the God is the owner of the company that now publishes Black books.
Oh, wow. Okay, Charlemagne. Okay.
I didn't know this. And I wanted to give him a big shout out because I started reading the books myself. I have 3 different books here and I just started reading. Haiti is mentioned in 2 of the 3 already. Because of our independence or what have you. But Charlemagne the God, I want you to look into it. You never know what God is doing.
I sent them some couple of my books up their show one time, see if they would get back. And if they did, it would have been cool. If not, they at least got it to read it over. As long as somebody get the knowledge from what I'm reading.
I would try again because I'm about to try to get my books up in Charlemagne's hands. They completely sold out. I bought all 3 books that evening. A lot of people bought books that evening, and Charlemagne the God is the Black book publisher for this.
Wow. I'm glad he's using this platform and turning it into self-wealth, because that's what we need. We need more of people, because we understand that they're just not going to give us anything. So,
That is it.
we listen with ourselves. They're not going to give it to us, so we got to get it.
We gotta take it. And I'm going through something right now where I gotta take back what the enemy tried to steal. But praise God, Macy's, y'all hear me. We already know what's going on. I'm not gonna go into detail, but they know what I'm talking about. But either way, I wanted to share that with you because I was like at that event, so inspired, didn't know that Charlemagne is the one producing and publishing these books. So kudos to him. And if I were you, I would try again. The company name, book
I'm
is
saying he ain't gonna be able to ignore me after a while, so he'll come to me eventually.
there you go.
But I'm excited about definitely supporting him and all the rest of them because that's important.
Well,
But
you
I
know,
do have to go soon, not right now, but I got to go in a few.
it's okay. Let me just share that because you never know. God may have something in store. Because, like I
Oh,
said,
definitely.
I want him to publish my books as well. I'm an author and everything, and you're an author. You have 2 books, like you stated, and we're just gonna put it in the universe. We're gonna
We
put
put
it.
it in the universe. Yeah, I just published mine right now through Amazon, and thankfully people have been supporting me, and it means a lot. I've done book signings. I'm going to do a couple more book signings because they got the first book now. It's so enough that they put it in Barnes and Noble, and it's going to be in London.
Oh,
So,
excellent.
I'm probably going to be. I've done some book signings, but I haven't done Barnes and Nobles yet. So I'm actually going to go there since my book is going to be in there now. So I'm staying busy. Keep things going and moving. And
Well,
what God has for me, nobody can stop. So whatever it is gonna come, it's gonna be there.
well,
I ain't gotta force nothing.
you have been such an inspiration for me tonight. Where can people find you again? Because you have to go. I'm pretty sure we've been on here for a little time. I mean,
I did. It went like it was 5 minutes, and we've been on here so long.
I'm trying to tell you that. I mean, we could
Well,
talk all night. We have the same passion and the same mental state.
yeah. Like I would go all night long, and sometimes I gotta pull it back and be like, okay. But people can follow me. My name is Rick Watson again. You can follow me on Facebook. I'm under Rick Watson. On Instagram, I'm under Rick Watson CEO. Whatever platforms I'm on, everything, YouTube. But if you Google Rick Watson, I'm usually the first thing come up of everybody, even all the millionaires. So if you Google me, I should come up. But my website always, if you want to really follow me and get on the email blast list and things like that, you go to my website at www.rickwatsonproductions.com. And I hope you get a chance to show one of my trailers for the
That's what I was
film.
actually gonna do now.
Oh,
So
you can? Okay.
talk to us about the trailer while people are still on, and then I'm going to bring
Yeah.
the trailer.
Okay.
That was just gonna do. Look at you.
Yeah, this trailer is for a play that I've come called Adultery in American Pastime. It's a film that I did from a play that I did. The play was called Men Lie Too Much, Women Lie Too Good. It's a play that I did. It's the film that I did for entertainment's sake and to have a lot of fun with, but also the spiritual aspect that's in it from that pastor. But it's very important to understand the dynamic of adultery in our lives because we don't face things like that. We just act on it, and then we just discard it. So I'm excited to see it. You got the trailer ready? Adultery?
Give me 1 second. It's supposed to be popping up right now. I told you this Zoom thing now is acting so
It's
ridiculous.
different now. I see. It's a lot going on.
Hold on 1 second for me.
Oh.
Give me 1 second.
I should have sent you the actual video, but I sent you a.
No, okay. No, keep talking. Tell us about.
Okay. Yeah. So the movie again also is coming as a premiere, as a red carpet premiere at in the Chamonix Mall, in Pennsylvania. It's Chamonix Mall, and it's on March 18th. The premiere starts at 7 p.m. We be letting in about and doing the red carpet and pictures around 6:30 until the film starts. From 6:30 on. So come out and hang out with us. I'm sorry.
Small. Is that in your town in Philly or
where's
this place at?
Yeah, it's in Pennsylvania. It's the Chamonix Mall. It's right out Route 1. It's like part of Philadelphia. It'll come up. Are you saying something or the thing is going in and out a lot? I don't really hear you. Can you hear me?
Now I can. Hold on.
Yeah, it's like flashing green and going in and out. You jump. Yeah, this picture is jumping in and out, and it's flashing green, all kind of. I don't know what happened. We didn't talk about too much constructive stuff.
I'm trying to tell you. I told you things have been getting wild, right?
Yeah.
I got the trailer.
It's loading up.
Can you see it?
It's loading now.
Okay, one.
All right, here it comes. It's going now.
We made plans for family.
Good. watching the trailer for Adultery.
Tell me why did you do this to me? The way you make plans for family, and you swear you would bear my child. All the while you were out running wild, with your friends spinning all my ends.
Whoa. Thought you were Jasmine. Where's she at?
In the bedroom minding her business. Receipts out here tonight.
Victoria, you crazy? She's right in the other room.
It's okay. I gave her sedative to calm her down. She'll be all night long.
Okay.
Tell me why you do this to me.
Listen, I'm sorry for what we just went through. Listen, I can fix it. We can go to church, we can counsel, whatever you want to do. But we can get back together. I'm sorry.
All the while you were out running wild, with your friends spinning all my ends. And I caught you screaming, oh, I'm with him. I think it's time I let you know you can go, that's the door. You're nothing but a liar, a cheer, a deceiver, heartbreaker, and I won't let you mad in my life. So I'm taking the house, the cars, the kids, and the dogs. I want it all. You're nothing but a liar, a cheer, a deceiver, heartbreaker, and I won't let you mad in my life. So I'm taking the house, the cars, the kids, and the dog. I want it all. You're nothing. Every year I give this life.
Lord.
There's a lot going on.
A lot going on with that, and
I
you
see
could
your
tell
face through
it's
the
gonna
whole
be
thing.
hot.
And you should have seen your face through the whole thing.
Because I already seen it, and I was like, Lord, it's gonna be something. Because they are, well, I don't want to give it away or anything, but it looks like they're in the church, and it's a lot going on with the.
I ain't gonna tell you none of whatever the trailer you want to take it. You take it. We'll see.
Look,
You will see though.
you saw my face though. You saw my face, sir. And
Yeah, I see your face.
look,
I'm scared for you to even see it now, the way you was on that guy so hard.
and the sedative is what did it for me with that young lady drugging people.
I know, like you like what? Yeah, something. No, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a lot of stuff going on in this play. It's gonna keep you at the edge of the seat the whole film, though.
I believe it. I believe it. And I'm happy for you that you are following your dreams and you're going out there and you're not afraid. You're not afraid to do it. And I see greater things for you. So, we have more messages coming in from the girls. I want to call them the girls because Robin, oh my God, Pamela Clark just joined in as we're about to shut down. Pamela Clark is my sister from Cheetahwaga, Buffalo. She's gonna have to replay this whole thing because if she starts in, we're never gonna get off tonight.
Yeah, you probably never get out.
She'll be on here with us all night. But with that being said, for those that tuned in tonight, I just want to thank Mr. Rick Watson for coming on the AniYa show, joining us. Thank you so much for all the comments, for all the love. Please continue, guys, to share this platform, the AniYa show, but also share my brother Rick Watson's platform and his films and all the work that he's doing. We have to support one another. Camille, you are this man's longtime friend, my sister. Please share with all your friends the work that we're doing. I'm in New York City. Hopefully very soon, myself and Rick Watson can, work together on some things, bringing his product here to New York City, where it's the mecca of entertainment. And then of course, Atlanta, Tyler, hello, Tyler Perry, hello, sir. And then we have a whole slew of friends and community that I've worked with in the past. I'm not going to go into detail of who, but just know that I have a long history in the entertainment industry as well. So I foresee greater things. And I know now why my sister before her passing was like, AniYa, you need to meet Rick Watson. We got to work together and things of that nature. So tonight was, in part a tribute to Sister Dr. Renee. I didn't even know it was her birthday yesterday. I was told early this morning and I got goosebumps all over my body because I understand the mission and I understand your message and the reason you're doing what you're doing, and I commend you for it. So any inspirational quotes or messages or Bible scriptures that you want to leave with the beautiful community? We have more people that just joined us on Instagram. Abnael, Vivid, Top, thank you guys so much for joining us. But this is Rick Watson's, I guess, departing words with all of you. So Rick Watson, take it away. Anything else you want to share? And then we'll be shutting down on the AniYa show. But be sure real quick to tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to your girl AniYa. So go ahead, Brother Rick.
Well, a few things. So much always going on in my head that I would probably be on too long if I try to get everything out. But I just keep this in mind, everybody out in the world, that you were made. God made you to be a success. And remember, success is not based on things and how much you have. Success is a state of mind that motivates progress. Always to keep that in mind, and you will go far, because it's not only banked on the money and the love for it, and then when it's not there or coming fast enough, you're jumping off into something else or things like that. And another thing I wanted to say, I'm always about the spiritual aspect things in life. I had another thing I really wanted to say, but I guess it wasn't meant for me right now because it's not coming right now. But the important thing about life is that just always remember in life that much is given, much is required, and always understand that. I put a quote out on something about that on my Facebook page, and I think it's on Instagram too. But just always remember that God is always in control, and everything that happens is meant, and everything that happens, good or bad in your life, is supposed to be there for an experience to come out of it, because you learn. It says knowledge and wisdom is worth more than gold and silver. So I leave y'all with peace and love, and hopefully everybody gets to the point in their life where that they're finding more peace than they're worried about money, and then their life will feel more fulfilled. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
That is so beautifully said. And I just want to thank you. Oh, to Uncle Jacob Blake, my dear, thank you so much for tuning in too, and for all the support. And you're right, however, the whole gold and silver thing, I know why they got us thinking that. Anyway, you know what? Let me shut up. We're gonna talk offline.
We get it going on. I was getting ready to let you. I'm like, cut it out, girl.
Because I was like, wait, let me just shut up.
You was ready to go. You was ready to go.
Look, the finger, in the church, we put the finger up.
Yeah, you got the comedians, they start doing the flashing light on you.
Let me leave it at that. You said that's
that's cool. Thank you. And we're gonna get into part 2 soon anyway, eventually. So I'm excited.
Exactly. And hopefully we'll see you in New York City. But we have so much more work to do, sir. And I appreciate you. Big loves to you. Big loves to your children, whom are doing great. Thank you for being a great Black man, a great Black father, and a leader. We appreciate you, Rick Watson. And we'll see you.
Thank you so much. God bless.
God bless you guys. Bye. Thank you, guys.